Vuitton. Gave a state that senior year, then country stores to buy that beer. A place to go, nobody knows when you take it in and you take it slow. Like that river rolls where that green grass grows. I can't explain it.
America opener is going to be Mike Marlar, Ricky Thornton Jr., Hudson O'Neal.
Out of Oakwood, Illinois, it's Bobby Pierce with his first series win of the year.
Always glad to have him with us. We are live here tonight at the gorgeous Brownstown Speedway, Brownstown, Indiana. The Jackson County Fairgrounds is our home this evening for Castrol FloRacing Night in America, and this will be race number 6 on the season. Was originally supposed to be held back in May. Mother Nature, well, like she's done throughout a good part of the year, not playing nice, but she has blessed us with a gorgeous evening here today in a pit area full of 37 Castrol FloRacing Night in America drivers and 25 of the Indiana Superstocks as well. My name's Dustin Jarrett, and I'll be joined alongside by the general manager of the series and my BFF and twin, Ben Shelton. No studio show this evening. Can you believe it? Internet has been out for 48 hours at Rigsby's house.
I understand that
in Bloomington,
the local animal farm down the road, that something got in there and tore up the internet router box. But no, they did. They've had internet out, so no studio show tonight. So we're going to carry here from here at the racetrack, and we are here at Brownstown Speedway on a beautiful Wednesday evening, round 6 of 2024 for Castrol FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. And let's take a look at tonight's race info for this event, as we've got 37 super late models in the pit area, slicker graphics super late models tonight, and we'll have hot laps in Group A and B qualifying. 2 heat races out of each group. There'll be 8 laps apiece. The top 4 out of each heat race move off to the main event. 2 B mains will take the top 3 out of each 10-lap B. That'll give us 22 cars. Series provisionals, starting spots 23 and 24. And if we don't need those, well, we're just going to take some more out of the B mains. And it'll be a 20,000 win 50-lap feature here tonight. Ricky Thornton Jr., your winner a year ago. DJ, we've had now, tonight will be our 4th Castrol FloRacing Night in America event.
That's where we should be.
You see the boat, and you know what? You would say, how far is that from you? Well, you're about to find out. There is a ski boat out on the lake, which is, oh yeah, by the way, just outside of turn 2 as the drone.
Oh, no.
So yeah, we've got there's a levee outside of turn 2. Somebody asked me how high is the water on the levee. It said all the way to the top. We'll get a shot of that. And there you go. Look at this incredible lake. And also,
you see the track in the background there, kind of the middle of your screen.
I mean, I don't think people realize that the water goes to the very top of that levee. So that is an amazing shot right there.
I mean, it is a levee when I can see the water on the top of it. So,
but you didn't know it went all the way to the top, was my point. Like, I had somebody earlier thought that maybe it was halfway up it.
I got you.
But no, DJ, we have never had a repeat winner at Brownstown Speedway, and tonight we'll see if they can change that. Let's take a look at the track facts here.
Jackson County Fairgrounds. This racetrack opened back in 1952, Ben. Here just outside Brownstown, Indiana, quarter-mile semi-banked clay oval. And as you had mentioned, this track, is this the 3rd time we've been here now? Or the 4th?
This will be the 4th.
Oh, my goodness.
We've never had a repeat winner. Yeah, we've had a different winner every single time.
Looky there. Well, we're going to welcome in the 3rd member of our broadcast team in a little bit. Our very own James Essex, yeah. But first things first, we're going to step aside and thank the folks that have made this broadcast a possibility. Don't go anywhere. This is Castrol FloRacing Night in America, and you're watching it all live here on FloRacing.
Strength, power, muscle. The car's not bad either. With Castrol Edge, you've got the strength to unlock maximum performance. The muscle car meet, you'll crush it. Castrol Edge in, garage swagger on.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
Every weekend, it seems like we're at a racetrack somewhere. So we're living it, we're doing it. I think it helps us relate whenever they call. If they need more grip or they need more turn, we do it all the time. All of the fixtures we do, from our steering dyno to our rear end straightening jig, it's the same fixtures, same tools that we would build a rear end housing that's going to run a NASCAR race as we do a rack or a steering box to go on a street stop. We treat them all the same way because, I mean, they deserve the same quality. Everybody does.
Dave Poskey's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and racers from all across the country since 1978, and they are the home to Hoosier Tire, Ohio Valley, and Octane Race Products. Stop in and shop all of the nation's top brands, including Winners Performance, Willwood Brakes, Bill Stein Shocks, Hyperco Springs, Maxima Race Oils, Impact Safety Equipment, along with hundreds of others. You can also visit Dave Poskey's Performance Parts online at Poskey.com as we ship UPS and truck freight daily. Dave Poskey's Performance Parts, serving the Ohio River Valley and racers all across the country since 1978.
We're the leader in race fuels. We've been doing this since in the 60s. We use our distillation tower, which is unique. No other race fuel companies do that in the world. We also test every single batch that goes out the door on over 15 different parameters that ensure the tune-up will be identical.
That consistency in the marketplace that makes us a premium brand.
Make the same stuff every time. We're pretty darn close to perfect.
I have terrible vision. I got hooked up with Death Ridge, and being able to see when you're racing is pretty important. Glare is somewhat of a big deal, and with these there's really no glare at all. They just fit really well. They don't go over your ear, they just go straight around your head. Full believer in them. I feel like they help a lot compared to what I'm used to. I have nothing but good to say about them.
Welcome back to Brownstown Speedway. Castrol FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota here on a Wednesday night with 37 super late models in the pit area. And it is a beautiful evening. In fact, let's take a look at that weather right now that we've got here. The Jackson County Fairgrounds, the look from high atop on the drone. And 74 degrees, 2-mile-per-hour winds, overcast, no broken clouds. I think it's more broken than it's overcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a flag
broken
on that play. I'm going to challenge it. But it is a beautiful evening here to go after $20,000 with the series. And hey, and you know what? Tiffany said we don't have smoke or haze. You know what, though? We are going to have smoke tonight. Tony Stewart's going to be here tonight checking things out.
How about that?
His beautiful wife, Leah, they're going to be here a little bit later. So we will have smoke on the grounds.
We got plenty of room for him up in the press box.
That's right. And then talking about the schedule for Castrol FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. Mother Nature has wreaked havoc. This race was supposed to be held back in May, DJ. I can't get over the lake at the top of the screen. But after tonight, we do have a big double header coming up on the tour. But that's going to be in November. We'll be down at the Pollard family-owned Sonoy Raceway, November 15th and 16th. And, of course, $20,000 to win that Friday night. Saturday night, $30,000 to win, $3,000 to start. FlowSeries.com. It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, and we took that money and broke it up. It used to be a $50,000 to win finale. Drivers wanted a little more money for both nights of racing, and we've done that. We listened to the drivers, and we've taken that money and spread it throughout the field. Speaking of money and spreading it throughout the field, how about the points payout for Castrol FloRacing Night in America? We know the champion of the series now is going to run every race. That means they're going to get $75,000, and it's starting to look like a two-horse race.
Yeah, right now, Bobby Pierce tonight, 3 points over Ricky Thornton Jr. for the top spot, and it was $50,000 without perfect attendance, but it's going to be perfect attendance for the champion this year, whoever it ends up being, and Pierce was the champion last year. Brandon Shepard back in 22, and the year before that was Jonathan Davenport. $137,000 plus payout for the points this year for 8 races.
For 8 races, let's go.
Not too shabby, and of course, as we said, Bobby Pierce, your points leader, entering tonight. Ricky Thornton Jr. second. We'll be talking more about this points battle, but I tell you who I want to talk to.
Oh.
The GOAT. The man, the guy that helped build Brownstown Speedway in
with
so many
his
different
bare
ways.
knuckles.
That's right. As we head down, our pit reporter, third member of our broadcast crew tonight, James Essex. And James, you're on the front straightaway. Can you remember when you built that front straightaway?
Well, you're not supposed to have your back facing the track, so first off, I'm wrong tonight on that. You said Tony Stewart was going to be here, right?
I did. They earlier they said Mark Richards said that Tony's going to come hang out here.
He's
tonight.
the president of the James Essex fan club.
Well, he is that, but also his first ever late model win was right here, May of 1998, when he won the Kenny Simpson Memorial.
In the Steve Barnett car.
In the Steve Barnett car. It was a number 98 car. And the same day, he had run a Busch Series race in Dover, Delaware, flew back to Indiana, and then won the Kenny Simpson Memorial that night for his first career win in a late model, 1998.
Hey, James, I bet you know this. Did you know our points leader, Bobby Pierce, he told me in the pit area in 2010, his first ever super late model start came right here at Brownstown, 13 years old. Did you know that?
Yes. Do you know how many wins his dad had here at Brownstown?
Lay it on us, James.
16 career wins for Bob Pierce, who's in the house tonight. But a driver who's here, first time since September of 2020, the night before the Jackson, Don O'Neill here tonight, 4-time Jackson 100 winner. That's only second to Scott Bloomquist, who won it 7 times. O'Neill, 2-time track champion. His brother Marty, also a 2-time track champion. But Don O'Neill, his last win at Brownstown was the Indiana Icebreaker in March of 2014.
Oh my!
Was his last win here at Brownstown. 54 career wins, second all-time. You know who's first, right? Jim Curry.
Obviously.
Who is he tied with for second all-time, 54 wins? We talked about him earlier today.
All right, James, thanks a lot.
The modern-day cowboy, John Gill.
That's right. That's right. Yes, sir. James, we'll look forward to hearing your insight from the infield all night long. Don't go anywhere. Those of you watching at home, when we come back, Dirt Draft Hot Laps about to pull on the Speedway here at Brownstown, Indiana.
Introducing the My Kubota app. With My Kubota, connecting with your local dealer is easier than ever. Find them with just a tap and contact them quickly for any assistance you need. Access comprehensive resources like how-to guides, owner's manuals, fault codes, maintenance schedules, and more. Everything you need to keep your Kubota running smoothly. Download the app today.
Race fans, Dirt Draft is your #1 fantasy racing app. Play along with hundreds of events each year featuring the biggest stars in series and racing. Draft your team each race night and compete against hundreds of fans across the country. Or start your private league to battle your friends for the ultimate bragging rights. Accumulate points each race night and cash those points in for top prizes from the biggest brands. Sign up today and learn more at dirtdraft.com or download a Google Play or the App Store. Dirt Draft, your fantasy racing edge.
your competitive edge at sweetmanufacturing.com.
I'll just put it this way, we'll be back. With the hard work of Mark Richards and all the people at Rocket, we'll be back.
Your opening night winner of East Bay Raceway Park is going to be Tyler Erb. The Ashton winner gets it done on a Tuesday night at East Bay.
But it's going to be the Reaper out of Marshalltown, Iowa. His first career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
And it's going to be Hudson O'Neal getting his first win. Back-to-back winner at East Bay Raceway Park. Hudson O'Neal wins it. $20,000 later, alligator. Hudson O'Neal wins it in one.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists at Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simply awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's got to be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your simply awesome race shirts.
Welcome back to Brownstown Speedway, Castrol FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. And DJ, we have Dirt Draft Hot Laps on the Speedway. Have you got your race-winning Dirt Draft lineup in here tonight?
Jim Curry.
Okay, he's going to get you.
Just kidding, James. Just kidding, brother. We know that's who's on here. Yes, I do have my Dirt Draft lineup set. By the way, I don't know if I've mentioned this in the last few broadcasts or not, but I won the World 100.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Times.
I think I might have mentioned it, but I just want to make sure the folks at home knew.
Well, get your Dirt Draft lineup in so DJ can quit talking about himself. Get your Dirt Draft lineup in. It's a lot of fun. And beat DJ and make sure to tag him on social media and tell him how bad he is at Dirt Draft. As Dirt Draft Hot Laps are underway here tonight at Brownstown. And there's Jason Jamison, two-time winner this year out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. The Ratliff Racing, Grant Lee Farms, MGL Auto Sales, Clements Powered Longhorn. Behind him, the 157 of Mike Marler out of Winfield, Tennessee. The Clements Powered Longhorn Skyline Motorsports Truck Country entry. Behind him in car 71, a popular homecoming tonight for Hudson O'Neal, your defending Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, the Cornet-powered Longhorn. SSI Motorsports Professional Concrete Cutting Solutions for Hudson O'Neal.
Yeah, a few other drivers on the track. You're going to see the 22 there. That is Matt Bochnek out of Seymour, Indiana. That's the Ken Robinson's former car and engine, the J. Dickens Powered Longhorn for J&N Construction, Hoosier Truck Sales, and Bochnek Trucking. Dalton Wilson behind him in a special breast cancer awareness wrap in the 18D for James Ratliff Racing, the Grant Lee Farms MGL Auto Sales sponsored car. And the 18 of Trevor Landrum also on the Speedway. He's got the Bloomquist Zero decal on the inside of his number. He's a three-time Florence Speedway track champion in that Valvoline Carry Toyota G&G Express Dargy powered Team Zero entry. And there's a very late arrival, Cade Loudy, making it up tonight out of Rogersville, Tennessee, in that DJ's Performance-powered Masters-built race car, the Bigfoot Enterprises, used trucks and parts, Bruce Miller Masonry, Envy Suspension, JB Salvage, sponsored number 126.
Right behind him, Drake Troutman on your screen right there, the Hyman PA driver, in the Wheeler Fleet Solutions, RFI Resources, Schaefer Construction, Longhorn race car for Drake Troutman, six-time winner this year is the Hyman, Pennsylvania driver. And joining him on the Speedway, the 31 AU car of Kai Blight out of Bunbury, Western Australia. And the Bar 31 team, Afterburner Performance, AccuForce, Dyno and Testers, Durham-powered rocket chassis for Kai Blight out of Australia in the 31 car. And getting the racetrack ironed in right now a little bit. 16:017 though, the fastest time here at Dirt Draft Hot Laps. And it's Drake Troutman. And I tell you what, Drake has had a good second half of the year, DJ, and a driver that we weren't sure if we'd see here tonight, but glad that we were. And the next set of cars leading their way out, and they're going to be led by the Indiana Icebreaker champion in 2024, Devin Moran.
The birthday boy.
That's right, 30 years old today out of Dresden, Ohio. He is 1/3 of your age. The Clements Powered Longhorn Lazy Days RV, Big River Steel Bill Stein, car number 99, and behind him, the number 1 of the Rocket One Racing entry for T-Mac, Timmy McCready. Two-time winner this year, the Valvoline Performance Grading, Soyber Calf Ranches, Ace Metalworks, car 1, and that's right behind Devin Moran, who's on your screen. There's Tim McCready, and behind him, DJ, a local standout.
Yeah, it's going to be North Vernon, Indiana's Tyler Collins. He'll be the next car to pop on your screen in that current-powered Capital Race car, the Valvoline Tail Feather Farm Market, Jason's Construction sponsored number 11. There's Tyler Collins. He'll be followed by another regional hot shoe out of Greencastle, Indiana. That's going to be Josh Bowler in the Mike Bullock-powered Kryptonite race car, the State Farm, Thomas Garage Door, Jack's Trash Service, Carrington Commodity Relocation, sponsored number 05B.
You just saw shooting past him, and now a 34-time winner this year. It's Bobby Pierce with 34 wins. And he's our current points leader with Castrol FloRacing Night in America, the Vic Hill Powered Longhorn, Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Hoker Trucking, Mesilla Valley Transportation 32, and Carson Ferguson in car 93 on your screen, the Lincolnton, North Carolina driver, as he makes his way in the Payor Motorsports Little Pink Houses of Hope 93 car, creeping up in the points slowly but surely as the driver of that Longhorn by Wesley Page 93.
Absolutely. How about that? That's Devin Gilpin, a 1993 throwback to Grandpa Don Fleetwood's Indiana Superstock that he was oh so good in. That is a very, very special wrap. Got a chance to talk to Don about that. It's the Clements Powered Rocket Chassis for Devin Gilpin, and there's the boss, Ross Robinson, a 4-time winner this year for that Ken Adams Dutch Star Motorsports entry. And the number 7 car, again, Ross Robinson. And there's the 3Z. That is Zach Burton. Good-looking race car for the Edinburgh, Indiana driver. The Kern-powered rocket chassis, the liquid waste removal. Beck Automotive, Blair Home Improvement sponsor, number 3Z.
Yeah, Zach Burton currently second in the Indiana Late Model Series standings here at the track, and 10th in the Super Late Model standings as Bobby Pierce to the top of the leaderboard, 13.912. 13.912.
Not so fast,
and
my
how
friend.
about that? Devin Moran said, I was really good here back at the Indiana Icebreaker in March, and I'm very good now. Devin Moran, the fastest time, the Roger Sellers Racing entry, the number 99, a 13.551. And he has had a fantastic season, has Devin Moran, with 12 wins, including 6 with the Lucas Oil Series. And DJ, could this be the year he gets his first Lucas Oil title?
He very well could. First things first, he wants to get a Castrol FloRacing Night in America win tonight on his birthday. You know who else has a birthday today? Your dog.
My dog, and I
Rosie
forgot.
Dog.
I'm a terrible person.
Forgot, and I think that you should all burn Ben Shelton on social media.
Not
for
terrible.
forgetting
How
his
can I forget my dog's birthday? Well, I'll tell you what, I've not forgot that Dalton Wilson is in the 18D. Great looking car. As a little flare of pink on that race car as we get ready for Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. And Dalton Wilson in car number 18, the Ratliff Racing entry. Dalton's had a pretty good year so far, currently 3rd in the Castrol FloRacing Night in America standings, also in the top 10 with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. So DJ, basically racetrack was still a little bit slimy for the first set, so we're letting these guys get one more shot at Dirt Draft Hot Laps where they head back to get ready for Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying.
Absolutely. Devin Moran right now, as you mentioned, as you can see on the left side of the screen, the quickest in Dirt Draft Hot Laps with a 1:3.551. They're going to get the green and white flag simultaneously. Just about 2 laps around here to make sure their cars are good, make sure the racetrack is good to go. How fun is it, by the way, to see Hudson O'Neal there on your screen? Just saw him. How fun is it going to be to see Don O'Neal back behind the wheel of a race car tonight?
Oh, man, it is fantastic. And the new and improved Don O'Neal, man, he is really slimmed up. He looks good down there as he is in fighting shape, and he told me he wanted to fight you after the races tonight.
Nope, I'm not the one that forgot my dog's birthday.
Yeah, you got me on that one. Well, we're going to drop the checkered flag on that set of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Dalton Wilson second on the board behind only Devin Moran. Devin Moran a 13.551. Dalton Wilson 13.564. They'll head back to the pit area, get ready for Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. And the next set of cars are going to be led out by Greenwood, Indiana's Justin Shaw. The Kern Racing Engine Longhorn race car sponsored by Superheat Solutions, Slicker Graphics, and Earnhardt Technologies. And behind him, former World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series champion Dennis Erb Jr., 3-time winner this year, picked up a win just over the weekend at Peoria. The Carpentersville, Illinois driver, the Vomac truck sells McBride Mac Clements powered Rocket XR1 is on your screen. You saw Justin Shaw. There's Dennis Erb Jr., and behind him, DJ, another one of the local standouts from here at Brownstown Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be Shelby Miles in the 76 popping onto your screen next in that rock-solid masonry Bloomington South Storage. Reed & Sons Construction sponsored Clements-powered Longhorn for Shelby Miles. Very first time that Longhorn race car has been on the track, by the way. That's a brand new chassis for him. And Spence will be behind them out of Causeyville, Mississippi. It'll be 23-year-old Spencer Hughes in the JCM Motorsports Yellowhammer Design and Construction Clyburn Tank Lines Neon Bubbles Car Wash, sponsored number 19M.
Plural bubbles. Behind him in the 2S out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the Category 5 race car. That'll be Stormy Scott. Clements Power Under Hood, the Rancho Milagro Racing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Eagle Moon Farms entry. And riding behind him will be the 132, or the 1 or the 32, whatever you want to call it, Chad Stapleton. Total Chaos out of Edinburgh, Indiana, 2-time track champion here at Brownstown Speedway in the Talon Center Racing 31 Auto Group, Kern Racing Engine Longhorn.
I don't
kart
think
number 1.
all the sponsors on this race car.
I think some of them just won't make the call tonight. Car 6 behind him, that is going to be Clay Harris, and car number 6H, the driver out of Jupiter, Florida. 1 win on the year, currently second in the Lucas Oil Limited Earth Series Rookie of the Year, Battle of Wilkerson Farms, Rescue Metal Framing, Impact Electrical Services, car 6. And DJ, one other car, a couple more on the Speedway. You see the 96, Tanner English, no stranger to victory lane here at Brownstown Speedway, a 3-time winner this year. The Clements Powered Longhorn Coleman Farms Racing entry. Also in this set, right behind him, it'll be the number 93. First time with the series, I believe, Corey Lawler out of Hanover, Pennsylvania. And on your screen, the 17, you see Corey Lawler coming in the blue 93. The 17 SS that was on your screen, that will be Brendan Smith out of Dade City, Florida. And man, he had quite a tough night last Saturday over at Knoxville Raceway, but they got it back together.
Yeah.
And he's here in the Big Daddy's Cattle Total Claim Source Durham-powered Rocket XR1 for Brendan Smith.
Yeah, I talked to Brendan down in the pit area. I said, what all was been on that race car? And he said, honestly, it's probably to tell you the things that weren't been on that race car. But he said they really went to work on that thing over the last few days. They got that thing straightened out. Good to go. And that is the same car that he had at Knoxville, by the way.
Yeah,
Brendan
they got it fixed somehow, some way.
So Tanner English has been mentioned to the top of the leaderboard with a 1:3.472. Spencer Hughes second quick in this session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps with a 1:3.571. And the driver that's currently 3 points out of the series lead will lead the next wave of cars on the racetrack out of Chandler, Arizona. Ricky Thornton Jr. in the Ultimate Towing and Environmental Services, Capital Waste, Traffic Control Safety Services sponsored. Number 20 RT for Kohler Motorsports. Behind him, his good friend and traveling buddy, that's going to be Max Blair out of Centerville, Pennsylvania. In the Centerline Motorsports, Brad's Boat Chaz, C&J Dairy, Creekside Auto Sales, Upstate Auto Group sponsored, number 111.
The 93 out of Columbus, Indiana, that'll be Zach Blackwood in the Longhorn Race Car, sponsored by Kendall Truck and Parts Incorporated, Jones Core, D&B Screen Printing and Embroidery, all sponsors on that 93. And down the middle of the back straightaway, off into turn 3, welcome back Don O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana. McCarter Brothers Racing, McCarter Farms, Beeman Lumber, Parkway Liquor Store, J. Dickens, Powered Masters built first race since September of 2020 for the 2014 Lucas Oil champion and 4-time Jackson 100 champion.
Cool throwback wrap on that race car as well. Behind him, it's going to be Derek Groomer, a 6-time winner this year. And that D48, the Milliken Smiles, D-Transport, Earnhardt Technologies, BMF race car with a Travis Kern power plant under the hood. Jonathan Davenport behind him. He's currently second in the Lucas Oil Series point standings in that Double L Motorsports, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Dynagrow Seed, ASC Warranty, Clemens Powered Longhorn for Lance Landers Racing.
For the first time since 2019, Jason Fager is back at Brownstown in the Titan Industries, Rimtech Enterprises, Cheap Cars, Rosser Battery, and Outpace Racing Products, Clemens Powered Longhorn, 15 wins on the year, defending Mars champion and current points leader, and K-Rob Kent Robinson, the 2017 Eldora Speedway track champion in the Chad Stapleton Racing, OnlyFans Motorsports, RJ's Excavating and Seal Coating, Car 7R for K-Rob Kent Robinson.
Good job. Zach Blackwood, the fastest right now with a 3.287. Oh my. How about that?
Oh, how about Max Blair to the top of the leaderboard, Centerville, Pennsylvania driver.
Fins up. Well, we discussed a strategy for a Golfins down there. We're going to be okay. Going to be okay.
Well, how about that? The checkered flag drops in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. They're going to head back to the pitter and get ready for Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. But your fastest time in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, Centerville, Pennsylvania's Max Blair, last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year, and the Centerline Motorsports Upstate Auto Group, TLW Transport, Clements Powered Longhorn. 4 wins on the year for Max Blair. That'll wrap up Dirt Draft Hot Laps, as now it is time for the Super Stocks to make their way out, and Dustin George is going to tell you who's in what car as we get set for a big field of Super Stocks here tonight at Brownstown.
Thank you very much. Pewter Hall Super Stocks making their way out onto the racetrack. Three different groups here for our Pewter Hall Super Stocks. This is Hot Lap Time Trials. And they'll be led out onto the racetrack by your winner 2 weeks ago. Behind the wheel, the number 8. Out of Seymour, Indiana, the Legacy Excavating Barnett Brothers Racing, Holtman Farms 8. That is Colton Sullivan, and just behind him on the front straightaway in the 0 out of Mitchell, Indiana, that is Lee Hobbs. Out of Bedford, Indiana, in the Travis Kern Race Engines Canes Construction pop bit number 12. Behind him, that is Trey Chastain. Trey Chastain in the 12. And out of Seymour, Indiana, in the Napa Kings Excavating Stuckwish Power Washing Beach Heating and Air number 22, it is Jenna Boatnick. Jenna Boatnick in the black and pink 22 on the exit of turn number 2, just behind her in that 34 DJ out of Scipio, Indiana, into Hoosier Air Transport, Paul's Columbus Auto Salvage. That is Danny Hupp. Danny Hupp in the 34 DJ. And that white and black, the 1 in turns 1 and 2, that is out of Seymour, Indiana, Denny Boatnick. Denny Boatnick back behind the wheel here tonight in the 1 here in the Pewter Hall Super Stocks. Right in the center of 1 and 2 out of Seymour, Indiana, in the Stuckwish Power Washing, Main Trailer Sales, BP2 Construction, Night Drainage and Excavating 00. It's Greg Amick. Greg Amick with a win here this season, early in the season, therefore Greg Amick. Currently top 5 in the points. 9 different winners in the Pewter Hall Super Stocks over the season. 3 of them in this particular group. That is Colton Sullivan, Lee Hobbs, and Greg Amick. Rounding out this group for Hot Lap qualifying Group 1 out of Seymour. That is the 3 of Matt Terry. Matt Terry in the 3. We'll go green, white, checkered. And we're going to bring him to green right now. Everybody ordered on the gas as they'll come around and take the green. This time by, I believe, the 8 of Colton Sullivan will be the first one to take the green flag once again. Green, white, checkered. How they time in will be how they'll line up for heat race number 1. And line up for heat race number 1. Firing in 8th will be the 00 of Greg Amick. 7th, the 1 of Denny Boatnick. Denny Hupp in 6th. Matt Terry 5th. Jenna Boatnick will fire off on the outside of row number 2. Trey Chasteen to her inside, and your front row on the outside, the 0 of Lee Hobbs. And starting on the pole for heat race number 1 out of Seymour, Indiana, Legacy Excavating, Barnett Brothers Racing, Holdman Farms, number 8, it's Colton Sullivan. And we'll roll out now with our group number 2, led by last week's winner, your 2022 Pewter Hall Super Stock Track Champion, Dirt Car National Champion in the 79 out of Bedford, Indiana. That is a Davis Automotive DNA Trucking and Hauling Texcon Cutstone Signals Driving School machine, driven by Zach Sasser, winner 1 week ago here at Brownstown Speedway. Just behind him in the 14E out of Taylorsville, Indiana, in the Tyrese Trim Shop, Ziggy's Pub and Eatery, Top Shelf Motorsports 14E. That's Tim Edelman. Tim Edelman in the 14E. The number 31 tonight in that TSR chassis out of Roachdale, Indiana, being driven by Jordan Almanza. Jordan Almanza in the 31. And out of Westport, Indiana, in the Trainer Racing Engines Fly-By-You chassis, Dave Bowen Trucking 9M. That is Craig Markle. Craig Markle in the 9. And take a look at the number 7 in 1 and 2, normally driven by Jim Ruddick, but tonight being piloted by Big Money Mike Fields out of Scottsburg, Indiana, behind the wheel of the 7. And the 55 behind him, that is Butlerville Shane Wilson. 2-time winner on the season in the 23 out of Butlerville, Indiana, in the Hoover Design Professional Concrete Cutting Grateful Grub 23. That is Blake Hull. Blake Hull with 2 wins early on in the season. And rounding out this group out of Bloomington, Indiana, behind the wheel of the G2, that is Ralph Groomer. Ralph Groomer in the G2. And we'll go green this next trip around with the driver of the G2 for green, white, checkered. How they time in will be how they line up for heat race number 2. And caution in turn number 2. Looks like the 31, that is Jordan Monza, pointed the wrong direction there. And it looks like not Jim Ruddick, Mike Fields. It's Jim Ruddick's machine here. The number 7 pulls to the infield. And next time by, we will try it again here. Going to green with the 23 of Blake Hull. He's in turns 1 and 2. Nobody with a lap thus far. Heat race number 2 will line up with Shane Wilson firing off 7th. And Mike Fields, if he's able to go in the heat race, will be 8th. But Shane Fields 7th, Jordan Monson the 31, 6th. 5th, the Craig Markle, the 14E of Tim Edelman, 4th. Zach Sasser will be inside of row number 2 in the 79. Your front row will have Ralph Groomer in the G2. And starting on the pole out of Butlerville in the Hoosier Design Professional Concrete Cutting Grateful Grove, number 23, it's Blake Hull. So Colton Sullivan and Blake Hull, your fastest qualifiers, and we'll start from the pole in their respective heat races as we'll roll on out now with Pewter Hall Super Stock Hot Lap qualifying. Group number 3 led onto the track by a 3-time winner here at the Speedway out of Bedford, Indiana. From the Davis Automotive DNA Trucking and Hauling Signals Driving School, Texicon Cutstone number 11, that's Isaiah Sasser. And just behind him in that black 71, your current points leader out of Bedford, Indiana, the Texicon Cutstone, Terry Cummings Race Engines, Alan Norman Contracting, Brad Cummings Aggressive Race Car. That's the 71 of Tucker Chastain. Tucker Chastain with 10 wins on the season at various racetracks here around the state. On your screen, you see the 49, that is Seymour, Indiana, sponsored by Napa. Bob Pointer Chrysler, Jim Hoffman, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, that's Jack Roberts. Jack Roberts in the 49. In the red 77 out of Bedford, Indiana, and the Bedford Limestone Suppliers, Brownstown Dental Care, Fastenal of Bedford, that is Cale Kern. On the screen out of Freetown, Indiana, in the all-climate heating and air, Conyers Septic and Excavating, TJ's Machine Team Dasco, L66, that is Webb Lee. Webb Lee in the 66. And behind him in the bright orange 55X, that is Brownstown, Indiana's Lee & Sons Racing, Lone Wolf Graphics, 55X of Sam Lee. And on the screen, that machine normally piloted by Hayden Groomer, but tonight the 48H, sponsored by Milliken Smiles, Joe DeVive, Remote Trucking, Signals Driving School, Bloomington, Indiana driver, that is Derek Groomer. Derek Groomer behind the wheel of the 48H. And we've got a car stopped on the backstretch. That is the 37 of Ray Weston out of Alonia, Indiana. And missed him on the lineup sheet, but Ray Weston stopped there on the backstretch, so we will have to take just a moment. And Ray Weston with a little assistance from push truck driver Jimmy Curry. As we'll remove the 7 of Mike Fields here from the infield and bring these folks to green here next trip around to line up heat race number 3, our third and final heat race So we're going to come to green with the 11 of Isaiah Sasser, who's on the back straightaway. Yes, looks like a little trouble getting moving here on the front straightaway. The Lee brothers going to be just up ahead. As Sasser at full speed in 1 and 2. It looks like potential trouble here for your points leader, the 71 of Tucker Chastain, as he pulls off the racetrack. White smoke out of the back of that 71, and it appears to be under power, but the lineup for Heat Race 3, Ray Weston will fire off 8th, Sam Lee in 7th, Webb Lee 6th, Derek Gruber in the 48H in 5th, Jack Roberts 4th, Cale Kern in the 77, currently in the 3rd spot, with Isaiah Sasser scheduled to roll off on the outside of the front row. But not only is he your points leader, but the 71 of Tucker Chastain was the fastest qualifier in that group out of Bedford. Texacon Custone, Travis Kern Race Engines, Terry Cummings Race Engines, Alan Norman Contracting Machine, and we will see if he's able to be back out here later tonight for his heat race. But as it stands, it is Colton Sullivan, Blake Hull, and Tucker Chastain on the pole for their respective heat races here later tonight.
Well, Dustin, thank you very much. That wraps up the Super Stock Hot Lap and qualifying as we get set now. The Slicker Graphics Super Late models here tonight with Castrol FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. As we're going to be divided into Group A and B. Group A will make up heat races 1 and 2. Group B will make up heat races 3 and 4. And your first qualifier tonight will be Florence, Kentucky's Trevor Landrum. Man, look at that sky. It is beautiful here tonight at Florence Speedway. And the Team Zero Dargy-powered Valvoline carry Toyota, G&G Express, Complete Collision Center, ML Performance, and Burgess Motorsports Consulting, all sponsors for Trevor Landrum. 3-time Florence Speedway track champion. Cade Loudy in the 126 will join him on the Speedway, the Rogersville, Tennessee driver. And the Bigfoot Enterprises, Rogersville Seamless Guttering, Woodhouse Chevrolet, DJ's Performance, Masters built. 126 for Cade Loudy, the last super late model competitor in the pit area here today. And again, Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. This will determine the way the heat races are lined up tonight. 37 Castrol FloRacing Night in America Super Late models presented by Kubota in the house here tonight. It all culminates with a 50-lap feature. And DJ, as we've talked about, there's never been a repeat winner. This will be our 4th appearance here at the facility. And back last year, Ricky Thornton Jr. was your winner. Jonathan Davenport got the job done in 22. And some guy named Kyle Larson won back in 2021.
Never heard of him.
Larson not here tonight, but Davenport and Thornton are. And they're going to be going after victory lane. And so far this year, man, I tell you what, it has been hotly contested. Ricky Thornton Jr., a 2-time winner, Bobby Pierce, a 2-time winner, and of course our most recent event, we saw Jonathan Davenport win at Eldora Speedway, and he was our inaugural season champion back in 2021.
And we still have 2 races to go. As we mentioned, the finale at Sonoy Raceway coming up on November 15th and 16th, $20,000 to win there on Friday night. That'll be a complete program, followed the very next night by another complete racing program that'll pay $30,000 to win in just an absolutely ginormous weekend, an event that unfortunately Mother Nature won last year, but in the first few years that we've had the Peach State Classic, we've seen it picking up steam, more people, more campers, and one that's on a lot of folks' bucket list coming up here in just a couple months.
Yeah, it's coming up November 15th and 16th. And again, can't say enough about the Pollard family, everything they do down there. And also want to thank Jim Price and the gang for having us here tonight. We're supposed to be here back in May. Mother Nature, big shocker, had different plans back in May, but we're here tonight, and we are moments away from getting the first cars out. And very nice crowd here tonight, and looks like checking for maybe some little bit of debris or maybe even a transponder down in 3 and 4 as there's a search party. While they're down there looking right now, James Essex, you are in the infield, and you know Brownstown better than anybody. If you got your ears on down there, man, I'd love to know what you think about the racetrack right now. He might not have his ears on.
I remember the time.
Oh, here we go. We got
there
you.
he is. He emerges.
There he is right there. You guys were talking about Devin Gilpin with his grandfather's. Actually, they were street stocks back in the day, the 00 car. Devin Gilpin is the current points leader here at Brownstown. If he can win the track championship this year, he would break a 3-way tie with Steve Barnett and Jim Curry and become the only 5-time late model track champion here in the history of Brownstown. He's already the all-time leadingest modified winner here with 67 wins, guys.
Yeah, and he's got a special wrap here. We'll be talking more about that. The Don Fleetwood tribute car here this weekend as DJ we're underway with Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying, and Trevor Landrum on the clock, the Florence, Kentucky driver in the 18, and joined by Rogersville, Tennessee's Cade Lowdy in the 126.
Absolutely. There'll be just 2 cars at a time on this quarter-mile racetrack. Just saw they're going to turn lap times in that low 13-second range, or they did in Dirt Draft hot laps a little earlier. And then Trevor Landrum rolls out first. He's a 14.868 his first time around. Cade Lowdy, good lap, 1.3.437. First trip around this quarter-mile racetrack for the Rogersville, Tennessee driver. Checkered flag is out for Trevor Landrum. Second lap, 1.4646, and Cade Lowdy a little better on lap 2. 1.3401 for Cade Lowdy, so he will set the early bar here in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials this evening with a 1.3.401.
Up next out of Martinsville, Indiana, it'll be Hudson O'Neal in the 71 and Jason Jameson out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana in the 12. Hudson O'Neal and SSI Motorsports Professional Concrete Cutting Solutions, Big River Steel, Wheeler Metals, Merrill Bonding, O'Neal Salvage and Recycling, Westside Tractor Sales, Subsurface of Indiana, all sponsors on the Cornet Lightning Longhorn for Hudson O'Neal, 11-time winner this year, former Jackson 100 champion, and racing Jason Jameson, 2 wins on the year for the driver out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. The Clements Powered Longhorn, Ratliff Racing, Grant Lee Farms, MGL Auto Sales, JRR Trucking, JRR Motor Sales, and Keltner Contracting, all sponsors for Jason Jameson in car 12.
First lap time about to go up for the 71 of Hudson O'Neal, and no surprise, it's quick time, 1.3.380 for the Martinsville, Indiana driver, and Jason Jameson topped him, good lap, 1.3.227. Jameson with that win at Lawrenceburg just a few weeks ago. Hudson O'Neal one up seam, his second time around, 13.221. Jameson not able to get it back on lap 2. His best lap time, 13.227, and Hudson O'Neal now the time to beat in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials in Group A with a 1.3.221 after the first 4 qualifiers.
Hudson takes the SSI Motorsports Clements Powered Longhorn back to the pit area. Up next, it'll be Drake Troutman out of Hyman, PA in the 7, and Kai Blight out of Bunbury, Western Australia in the 31. Drake Troutman was fast earlier tonight in hot laps. We'll see if it carries over at Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. The Wheeler Fleet Solutions, RFI Resources, Schaefer Construction, Shoes Diesel Performance, Stone Natural Resources, Glassmere Fuel Service, all sponsors on the Longhorn for Drake Troutman, Car 7, a 6-time winner this year. Meanwhile, Kai Blight, the Bar 31 team, Afterburner Performance, AccuForce, Dynos and Testers, Durham Powered XR1 Rocket Chassis for Kai Blight in Car 31.
First lap time for Drake Troutman is going to be good enough for 4th quick, 1.3.475. Kai Blight, one of his final races here in the States, by the way. His first lap time is 1.3.663. They're shooting for Hudson O'Neal's lap at 13.221. Troutman better on lap 2, stays 4th, 1.3.456. And Kai Blight's second lap time, not as good. He'll stay 5th, 1.3.663. Hudson O'Neal, Jason Jameson, Cade Lowdy, currently your top 3 qualifiers after 6 cars.
Up next, it's going to be car number 24 of Jared Bailey out of Bedford, Indiana, and the 157 of the Winfield Warrior, Mike Marlar out of Winfield, Tennessee. Jared Bailey and the Jason Durham Motorsports, JV Salvage, Black Belt Racing Parts and Supply, Printworks, Bluebird Cafe, Clements Powered Longhorn, 24 for Jared Bailey, and the 157 of Mike Marlar of Skyline Motorsports, Truck Country, Bruning Rock Products, Massey Valley Transportation, Can-Am Auto Salvage. Hang on, Marlar, he just about left the ballpark at 2. Petrov Towing, Brown's Heavy Equipment, all sponsors for Mike Marlar. 6 wins on the year for the 2018 World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series champion.
First lap time about to go up for the 24 of Jared Bailey and the 24. And it'll be 6 quick, 1.3.809 for the Bedford, Indiana driver, Mike Marlar. And the Skyline Motorsports 157, 4th quick his first time around, 1.3.451. Jared Bailey pulls off corner number 4, lap number 2, not as good. He'll be 7th quick, 1:3.809 his best lap time, and Mike Marlar's second lap also not as good. He'll stay 4th quick, best lap of 1:3.451. So after 8 qualifiers, Hudson O'Neal still has the time to beat with a 1:3.221.
Up next out of Seymour, Indiana, Matt Bochnek in car 22, 9-time modified track champion, and Dalton Wilson in the 18D out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. I heard the
had a heart
siren.
attack.
Yeah, Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina in car 18D. As Matt Bochnek on the track, the J. Dickens Powered Longhorn, J&M Construction, Bochnek Trucking, Hoosier Truck Sales, Bob Pointer, Ford Jeep, and Blondie's Pizzeria and Pub, all sponsors on that car. Meanwhile, Dalton Wilson in cart number 18 out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Ratliff Racing, Grantley Farms, ICS, and Auto Sales, Counter Construction, the Auto Outlet, Burt by Buddha, and Honeycut Custom Cabinets, all sponsors on the Clements Longhorn by Wells for Dalton Wilson.
I'm glad you got the Burt by Buddha right, because I usually mess that up. First lap time for Matt Bochnek is going to be 8th quick, 1:4.354 for the Seymour, Indiana driver. Dalton Wilson, that special breast cancer awareness wrap on the side of that James Ratliff Racing entry, 6th quick, 1:3.651. Matt Bochnek second lap time is a little better. He'll stay 9th, 1:4.155. And Big Perm's second lap time, 3rd quick, good lap, 1:3.373. So after 10 cars, it's now Dalton Wilson currently 3rd, Jason Jameson 2nd. They all still trail the New Deal Hudson O'Neal and his quick time of 1:3.221.
Up next out of Georgetown, Delaware, of a 7 of Ross Robinson and Josh Bowler in the 05B out of Greencastle, Indiana. Ross Robinson in the Commonwealth Equipment, Stokely Materials, the Frozen Farmers, Scott Dostal Mortgage Group, Wesley Collins Builders, First State Roof and Exterior Cleaning, and Stokely Tavern, Stokely Tavern, all sponsors on the Clements Powered Rocket XR1 for Ross Robinson, a 4-time winner this year. Meanwhile, in the 05B, it'll be Josh Bowler, Kryptonite Race Car, Bullock Power under the hood of the Myers Realty Group, Carrington Community Relocation, Jake's Trash Service, Baker Septic Service, and KDM IT, all sponsors for Josh Bowler.
First lap time for Ross Robinson, 8th quick, 1:3.729. Josh Bowler goes 12th quick on lap 1 with a 1:4.954. Ross Robinson will wheel that Ken Adams Dutch Star Motorsports entry down to his second lap time, a little better, 7th quick, 1:3.590. And the second lap time for Josh Bowler, also a tick better. He'll bump up a spot to 11th fastest, 1:4.183. 12 drivers have now attempted a lap. Hudson O'Neal still atop the leaderboard with a 1:3.221. I bet those owners know when their dog's birthday is.
Oh, well, they're up at the lake. I mean, it's a lake holiday for that dog. He's probably went swimming a little while ago. Up next, it's going to be the Z3 of Zach Burton out of Edinburgh, Indiana, and Tim McCready in car 1, the Rocket 1 Racing entry out of Watertown, New York. Zach Burton, the Travis Kern Powered Rocket XR1 Liquid. I think I missed a word there. Liquid Removal, Beck Automotive, Blair Home Improvement, and Lee's Tire and 4x4 RWM Incorporated entry for Zach Burton, and Tim McCready in the Rocket 1 Racing entry. The Sawyer Calf Ranches, Ace Metalworks, Valvoline Performance Gratings, 5-Star Bodies, Gunner's Honey, and Performance Concrete, all sponsors for Tim McCready, 2-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion.
Liquid Waste Removal.
There.
Liquid Race Removal. There it is.
We've had a lot of that this year.
What a great sponsor for race fans and racetracks, right? McCready is going to be 9th quick on lap number 1. Zach Burton goes 14th fastest his first time around. Second lap time for the Liquid Waste Removal 3Z of Zach Burton is 14th quick, 1:5.222. Timmy McCready a little better on lap 2. He'll jump up to 7th fastest with a 1:3.526. Nothing changed in the top 3. Still Dalton Wilson 3rd, Jason Jameson 2nd, and Hudson O'Neal atop the leaderboard after 14 cars. And we've got, I believe, 5 drivers left to qualify in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials here in Group A.
Yeah, and some real good ones. Up next, our current points leader, Bobby Pierce out of Oakwood, Illinois in the 32, and Tyler Collins out of North Vernon, Indiana in the 11. Bobby Pierce, a 34-time winner this year. The Vic Hill Powered Longhorn, Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Hoker Trucking, Massey Valley Transportation, Churchill Transport, Collins Brothers Towing, all sponsors for Bobby Pierce. Meanwhile, joining him on the Speedway, car 11 of Tyler Collins out of North Vernon, Indiana, the Valvoline Tailfeather Farm Market, Jason's Construction, Superheat Solutions, Blackwood Lawn and Landscaping, and Race Clean, all sponsors on the Capital Race car for Tyler Collins.
Bobby Pierce, good lap, 3rd quick, his first time around, 1:3.323, and Tyler Collins checks in 14th fastest with a 1:4.265. Does Pierce have anything for O'Neal on lap number 2? He does not. Second lap not as good. He'll stay third quick at a 1:3.323. Tyler Collins, second lap, a little better. 12th quick, 1:3.999 for the North Vernon, Indiana driver. That is just, I will never get tired of that drone shot. That is awesome. 3 drivers left to qualify in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials in Group A. It's Hudson O'Neal, Jason Jameson, Bobby Pierce, now your top 3 after 16.
Yeah, that was the Indiana Ocean we just saw. So in the center it'll be Carson Ferguson out of Lincolnton, North Carolina in the 93, and Devin Gilpin and the Don Fleetwood throwback out of Columbus, Indiana, and the 00 here tonight. As Carson Ferguson in car 93, the Longhorn chassis by Wesley Page Clements powered, Little Pink Houses of Hope, Hoopaw Grading Company, Franklin Enterprises, WP Racing Shocks, Coleman Farms Racing, all sponsors on that 93 for a 3-time winner this year in Carson Ferguson. Meanwhile, Devin Gilpin in the 00 here tonight, the Clarkson Logging, Dave Pickett Music Center, South Central Flooring, Freedom Fireworks, Vic Hill powered Rocket XR1. 6 wins this year for Devin Gilpin.
11th quick, first lap time for Carson Ferguson. Gilpin goes 13th fastest his first time around. Both drivers will look to improve on lap number 2. Second lap time for Carson Ferguson, not as good. He'll stay 11th. Best lap 1:3.685, and Gilpin brings that 1993 Don Fleetwood throwback around to his second lap time. A little better, but he stays 13th. His best lap of 1:3.812, and that means just one driver left to qualify in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials for Group A, the first half of the field, and it's going to be Devin Moran, and Ben, he is chasing Hudson O'Neal's quick lap of 1:3.221.
Devin Moran in the Lazy Days RV, Double Down Motorsports, Big River Steel, Bill Stein, McHugh Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram and Fiat, CarSourceAuto.com, AccuForce Dynos and Testers, Red Oak Pub, CW Trucking, Smoky Mountain Speedway, Lucas Oil, and Hall & Haskell's, all sponsors on the Clements Powered Longhorn for Devin Moran. 12 wins on the year for that driver, and he's going to be a finalist for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Big River Steel Chase for the Championship presented by ARP.
As it stands right now, you'd have James Ratliff Racing teammates on the front row of Heat 2 with Jason Jameson and Dalton Wilson. They're currently second and fourth, and Moran breaks that up. He goes third quick on lap 1 with a 1:3.287. Now, does he have anything for Hudson O'Neal? O'Neal's lap is 13:221. Dev, the birthday boy, off corner number 4, second lap, not as good. He'll stay third with a 1:3.287, and that is unofficially a wrap on Sunoco Race Fuels time trials for Group A, the first half of the field. It's Hudson O'Neal laying down the fastest time with a 1:3.221. Jason Jameson second quick, 13:227. Devin Moran goes third quick, and just like that, it wipes off the board in front of all of us.
No scoring for you. As we get set for Sunoco Race Fuels Group B, and your first qualifier out of Greenwood, Indiana, Justin Shaw, and out of Carpentersville, Illinois, Dennis Erb Jr. in the 28. Justin Shaw and the Current Racing Engine Longhorn chassis. Superheat Solutions, Slicker Graphics, Earnhardt Technologies, all sponsors for Justin Shaw. Joined on the Speedway by Dennis Erb Jr. in the 28. Out of Carpentersville, Illinois, the Vomac Truck Sales, McBride Mag Tools, Auto Sales, Penske, Dundee Heating and Air, Collins Signs, BP Racing Fuels, PRC, and K&L Motorsports, all sponsors for Dennis Erb Jr., a 3-time winner this year. His most recent win on Saturday night at Peoria Speedway picked up $5,000.
So we've wiped the slate clean as we begin Sunoco Race Fuels time trials for the second half of the field. Brand new clean slate for everybody. Justin Shaw, 1:4.688, and Dennis Erb Jr., 1:3.879. So Justin Shaw would be C.J. Rayburn's grandson, by the way. Shaw, I asked him if it was a Rayburn. He said, man, he said, that would be so cool. He said, but I got a Longhorn here this weekend. His second lap time is not as good. Neither is Dennis Erb. So Dennis Erb Jr. lays down the early time to beat in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials for Group B with a 1:3.879.
Up next, it'll be Shelby Miles out of Bloomington, Indiana in the 76, and Spencer Hughes out of Causeyville, Mississippi in the 19M. Shelby Miles debuting a brand new Longhorn here tonight. J. Dickens Power under the hood of the Rock Solid Masonry, Reed & Son Construction, Bloomington South Storage, Race Car Lifts, Extreme Performance, All-Star Performance, cart number 76. The 19M of Spencer Hughes, the JCM Motorsports, Yellowhammer Design Construction. Hold on, Spencer. I mean, I tell you what, guys are struggling over there too. Hughes gets his feet back under him. The Yellowhammer Design Construction, Neon Bubbles Car Wash, Clyburn Tank Lines, the Mercantile by Miller, VP Racing Fuels, Boswell Oil, card 19M for 5-time winner this year, Spencer Hughes, and the J. Dickens powered Rocket XR1.
Shelby Miles will be the first driver to click off a lap in this duo, and he goes second quick on lap 1 with a 1:4.138. Spencer Hughes first lap time to the top of the leaderboard in Group B with a 1:3.775. Shelby Miles, longtime veteran here at Brownstown Speedway, second lap a little better, but he stays third, 1:39.09. And Spence will not like lap number 2 after getting up there in the mud down in turns 3 and 4. Doesn't matter though, he's currently the fastest driver in Group B, Ben, in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials with a 1:3.775 after your first 4 qualifiers.
Up next out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, Stormy Scott in the 2S and Corey Lawler out of Hanover, Pennsylvania in the 93. Stormy Scott in the Category 5 race car, Clements powered, Rancho Malaga Racing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Eagle Moon Farms, Top of the World Ranch entry, 1 win on the year, and they came at the Bad Boy 98 with the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series at Batesville Motor Speedway back in May. Corey Lawler, this will be his first ever Castrol FloRacing Night in America event. The Dryden, Kaufman's Auto Clinic, Sunoco Race Fuels, Poncho's Racing Products, PPC Lubricants, Creekside Auto Sales, All About Wraps, Swift Springs, and Quick Car, Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket Chassis for Corey Lawler.
Turns 1 and 2 are giving these guys fits. I will tell you, just saw Stormy Scott get a little high down there, so he'll be 5th quick on lap 1 with a 1:4.743. Corey Lawler going to bring that entry around corner number 4 for his first lap time. He'll go 6th quick, 1:4.833. Second lap time for Stormy Scott, better, no surprise. He's 4th quick, 1:4.474. And the Hanover, Pennsylvania driver Corey Lawler, you saw that car shove on corner exit right there, and he still improves on lap number 2 with a 1:4.300. Lawler had a good lap going there until he shoved a little bit coming off the 4th corner. So after 6 cars in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials in Group B, it's Spencer Hughes, Dennis Erb Jr., and Shelby Miles, your top 3.
Up next, it'll be Total Chaos. Chad Stapleton out of Edinburgh, Indiana, and the one with the little 32 in it, and Clay Harris out of Jupiter, Florida in the 6. Chad Stapleton, the Tailwind Center Racing, 31 Auto Group, Laura Bennett Racing, C&B Core, Penske, Advanced Auto Parts, and Dynamic Drivelines, Kern Racing Engine, Longhorn for Chad Stapleton, and cart number 6 of Clay Harris out of Jupiter, Florida. The Wilkerson Farms, Rescue Metal Framing, Impact Electrical Services, National Fragile X Foundation, Dunright Construction, Boswell Oil, VP Racing Fuels, BGR Speed Shop, Durham-powered Rocket XR1 for Clay Harris with 1 win on the year.
Total Chaos, Chad Stapleton, 5 wins on the year, and he's 6th quick on lap number 1 with a 1:4.687. Clay Harris, 2nd quick, 1:3.854 for the Jupiter, Florida driver. Stapleton going to bring his car off corner number 4. His 2nd lap time, not as good. 7th quick, best lap, 14.687. Clay Harris does not improve on lap number 2, but he is still 2nd quick right now with a 1:3.854. They're all still chasing Spencer Hughes here in Group B after 8 cars. He came out early, and his lap of 1:3.775 is still the time to beat in Group B for Sunoco Race Fuels time trials.
Up next out of Bend, Kentucky, it's Tanner English in the 96 and Brendan Smith out of Dade City, Florida in the 17 SS. Tanner English, 3-time winner this year, the Coleman Farms Racing Special Needs School of Gwinnett, SRI Racing Products, Bill Stein, VP Racing Fuels, Clements powered Longhorn, 2-time Mars Series champion is Tanner English, former feature winner here at Brownstown. Brendan Smith, the Big Daddy's Cattle, Total Claim Source, Williams Trucking, Jim Pacino Trucking, Guardian Hurricane Protection, Plum Crazy Plumbing, Skipper Smokehouse, All Powers on the Durham-powered Rocket XR1 for Brendan Smith, currently 3rd in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year battle with the Lucas Oil Series.
Tanner English, I was just about to say he's been good here in the past, and he goes to the top of the leaderboard with a 1:3.507. Brendan Smith, 6th quick on lap 1:14.243. Tanner English, can he better himself on lap 2? He does not, but he's still got the time to beat right now. 13.507. Brendan Smith's 2nd lap time, a little better, 14 flat. He'll stay 6th quick, does the Dade City, Florida driver of the 17 double S. But you got a new driver atop the leaderboard here in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials in Group B, and it's Tanner Hughes with a 1:3.507. And the driver that was atop the leaderboard, Spencer Hughes, well, he's been docked 3 spots. He didn't pass the droop.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Is up next. Next 2 qualifiers, Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Martinsville, Indiana, and Zach Blackwood in the 93 out of Columbus, Indiana. Ricky Thornton Jr., the Kohler Motorsports, Hoker Trucking, Coleman Farms Racing, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Capital Waste, Bill Stein, Sharp Advantage Safety Products, 5-Star Metal Buildings, and Sunoco, all sponsors for Thornton with 25 wins on the year. And Blackwood in the 93B, the Longhorn, Kendall Truck and Parts Incorporated, Jones Corp, Jason Smith Transport, DMB Screen Printing and Embroidery, 93B for Zach Blackwood.
Ricky Thornton Jr. Jr. will be 8th quick on lap 1. Zach Blackwood, 2nd quick. Good lap, 1:3.593. RTJ, lap number 2. Better, 3rd quick, 1:3.650. And Zach Blackwood, second lap, not as good, yeah, but his first one was a good one. So the shakeup in the top 3 now finds Ricky Thornton Jr., 3rd fastest. Zach Blackwood, 2nd quick, and Tanner English, the time to beat, 1:3.507.
Up next, it'll be the real deal. Hudson, play again. Real deal. Don O'Neill. I've been saying Hudson all year. It's been a while.
It's been a few years.
It's been a minute. Don is back. Don O'Neill in car 71, and Max Blair out of Centerville, Pennsylvania in the 111. O'Neill in the McCarter Brothers Racing, McCarter Farms, Beeman Lumber, Parkway Liquor Store, Tarpey Trucking, Superior Cleaning and Services, Hots Racing, Action Graphics, J. Dickens Powered, Masters Built, 2-time track champion here at Brownstown, and joined on the Speedway by driverless fast and dirt draft hot laps, Max Blair, the Centerline Motorsports Upstate Auto Group, TOW Transport, C&J Dairy, DeanHonda.com, Murphy's Logging, Creekside Auto Sales, LakeviewFord.com, Clements Powered Longhorn for Max Blair, a 4-time winner this year.
Well, Don O'Neill will be 10th quick on lap 1. Max Blair goes 4th fastest his first time around. See Don change these lines here. I'm anxious to see what his second lap looks like. And it's better, but he stays 10th. 1:4.107. Max Blair, you mentioned, was fastest in dirt draft hot laps. He'll be 4th fastest right now in Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials Group B with a 1:3.761. 4 drivers left to qualify here this evening. They're all gunning for Tanner English's quick lap in Group B of 1:3.507.
Man, it's cool to see Don O'Neill back out there. As we get set up next, it'll be Kent Robinson out of Bloomington, Indiana, the 7R, and Jason Fager, the high side hustler, out of Bloomington, Illinois, in car 25. Kent Robinson, the Chad Stapleton Racing, OnlyFans Motorsports, RJ Excavating and Seal Coating, SEMO Repair Services, Andy's Towing, Ultra Force, all sponsors for Kent Robinson's J. Dickens Powered Longhorn, the 2017 Eldor Speedway Track Champion. Meanwhile, Jason Fager in car 25. 15 wins on the year for the driver of the Titan Industries, Rimtech Enterprises, RLM Enterprises, Outpace Racing Products, Cheap Cars, Rosser Battery, and Hooker Trucking. Clements Powered Longhorn for Jason Fager.
First lap time for Kent Robinson, 10th fastest, 1:4.054. That may be his best lap because he also just had trouble down in turns 1 and 2. Fager goes 6th quick, not bad for having not been here for 5 years. 1:3.788, the first lap time for Fager. Second lap for Robinson, he threw it away. He'll be 11th quick, best lap 14.054, and Fager jumps to 4th. Good lap for the Bloomington, Illinois native, 1:3.665. So Fager is 4th. Ricky Thornton Jr. is 3rd. Zach Blackwood right now is 2nd. Tanner English still the time to beat, but we've got 2 drivers left to qualify here in Group B.
Up next, out of Bloomington, Indiana, Derek Groomer in the D48, and Blairsville, Georgia's Jonathan Davenport in the 49. Derek Groomer, 6 wins on the year in the BMF race car. Cornet Lightning Power under the hood, the Milk and Smiles. Groomer Asphalt and Paving, Swift Springs, D-Transport Incorporated, JDV Medical, and Fry Towing Recovery, all sponsors for Derek Groomer. Meanwhile, Jonathan Davenport, 2021 Series champion with Castrol FloRacing Night in America, the Nutrient Ag Solutions, Fast Shafts, Dynagrow Seed, Lucas Oil Products, ASC Warranty, Mark Martin Automotive Group entry, and he's a 13-time winner this year as Groomer on the clock.
13th quick for Derek Groomer on lap 1, 1:4.143. Jonathan Davenport's first lap time. Second quick, good lap, 1:3.515. He is 8 1/1000ths off of Tanner English. Second lap time for Groomer, not as good. He'll stay 14th. We'll see if JD has got anything for him. Could the last car out set fast time in Group B? He does not, but he was awfully close, 1:3.515. Jonathan Davenport said, was surprised to see you up here, and he said, I've never really been good at Brownstown. Thought I could use a few extra laps on the place. He goes out, turns the second fastest time. So Tanner English was your quick qualifier in Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials Group B, 1:3.507. Jonathan Davenport second. Hey, have yourself a day, Zach Blackwood. 3rd quick in the 93X. Ricky Thornton Jr. 4th. See the rest of the top 10 there on the left side of your screen, and that is a wrap on Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials here tonight for Castrol FloRacing Night in America. Yes, Ben?
You want to hear something fun? We've got
Yes, I
6
do.
events now. 6 different drivers have been the Sunoco Race Fuels Fast Qualifier tonight. Hudson O'Neill for the first time this year. We're going to step aside, and we're going to thank some marketing partners as we get ready on the backside. Opening ceremonies right around the corner, and heat race action. Castrol FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota from here at Brownstown Speedway. And you're either in the house or watching it all live on FloRacing. We'll be right back.
The clean. Less sludge? Those cheers are for you, Rosa, because Rocket's still running like a dream thanks to you and the sludge-protecting power of Castrol GTX Ultra Clean. Castrol GTX Ultra Clean in, garage swagger on.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists at Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simply awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's gotta be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your simply awesome race shirts.
Established in 1983, FK Rod Ends has been the industry leader for both midget and micro racing. Family owned and operated, we take pride in our products and our name because we know you value yours. Visit our website, www.fkrodends.com, to find out how you can join our winning team. FK Rod Ends. To beat the best, you've got to use the best.
I have terrible vision. I got hooked up with Death Ridge, and being able to see when you're racing is pretty important. Glare is somewhat of a big deal, and with these, there's really no glare at all. They just fit really well. They don't go over your ear, they just go straight around your head. Full believer in them. I feel like they help a lot compared to what I'm used to. I have nothing but good to say about them.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Brownstown Speedway in Brownstown, Indiana, the Essex House of Power here at the Jackson County Fairgrounds. As Castrol FloRacing Night in America Round 6 has had dirt draft hot laps, as well as Sunoco Race Fuels time trials wrapped up. And we are just about ready to get underway with opening ceremonies. So if you're here on the grounds, we'll ask you at this time to please rise if you are able. Gentlemen, remove your caps. First, for this evening's invocation by track announcer Dustin George.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you would, please pray with me. Heavenly Father, we gather here this evening, humbly recognizing you as the creator and giver of all great things. And Lord, we thank you for this beautiful night and the opportunity that we have to gather together in your name and worship you through prayer, fellowship, and racing. The ability to compete for you is a blessing far beyond what we could ever deserve, and we pray that our efforts here tonight will bring you glory. Lord, we lift up each driver here tonight, asking for safety as they compete, and we lift up the race directors and all the staff who are serving to make this event possible. We pray for our friends and family, both at the racetrack and back at home, thanking you for putting them in our lives and for their love, encouragement, and support. May they share in our joy of competing for you. Lord, we end this prayer just as we began acknowledging you as God, and may we remember your love and sacrifice for us during this race and for always. And may we love and serve you in all that we do, always doing it in your name. It is in Jesus' name that all his people pray. Amen.
Amen, Dustin. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll ask you to please remain standing now, headgear removed, for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Dustin.
Very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 3 generations of Boatnicks on the racetrack. Grandfather Denny there in the center, Matt Boatnick. On the top side there, turn number 2, and Jenna Boatnick, the 16-year-old out of Seymour, carrying the colors for you here tonight.
Did I hear 16 to 81 years old? Is that correct? I believe the 3 different generations represented on the racetrack.
I believe you're right. I believe you're right.
That is so cool. That is so cool. That is what it's all about. And, man, I tell you what, DJ, we go all over the country and seeing the generations of the family out there, and they're all out having great family fun on a Wednesday night here at Brownstown.
Yeah, and very cool to give them a parade lap with the American flags at the conclusion of the Star-Spangled Banner here this evening as well. Something a little different, something unique here at Brownstown Speedway for this evening's Castrol FloRacing Night in America race, as we certainly appreciate that. We appreciate them, and I tell you what, here front straightaway, they can hear you, so as they come around the front straightaway, how about a big round of applause for the Boatnick family? 3 generations of racing and everything that they have done, and Matt with the fair board here at the Jackson County Fairgrounds. Let them hear you, Brownstown Speedway.
Very, very cool. Love it. Love it. Well, opening ceremonies in the rearview mirror, and that means it is time for the first of 4 Castrol FloRacing Night in America heat races presented by Kubota. This will be Integra Shocks and Springs, heat race number 1. And on the pole tonight, Sunoco Race Fuels fast qualifier, Hudson O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana in the 71. And to his outside, this year's Indiana Icebreaker champion, Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio in the 99.
Second row back on the inside. It'll be, are we still going to call him Big Perm, or is he officially the Perminator now?
I think it's got to be Perminator. Perminator.
I like it. It's
the
going to
big
be
Perminator.
the big Perminator out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's Dalton Wilson. On his outside out of Winfield, Tennessee, it's going to be the Winfield Warrior. That is Mike Marlar.
Inside of row 3, that'll be T-Mac Timmy McCready out of Watertown, New York, into his outside from Bunbury, Western Australia, Kai Blight in the 31.
It's a good heat race. Pair of regional standouts make up row number 4. It'll be Bedford, Indiana's Jared Bailey in the 24. He'll be flanked by the North Vernon, Indiana driver of the 11. That is Tyler Collins. And your final 2 starters then, it's going to be Josh Bowler in the 05 and Zach Burton in the 3Z. So unofficially 10 drivers slated to run 8 laps here in Integra Shocks and Springs heat race number 1. 8 laps. The top 4 will race their way into tonight's main event.
Well, the top 4 move on. A couple Indiana Icebreaker, Indiana Icebreaker champion for this year, starting outside front row, Hudson O'Neal, a former Jackson 100 winner, getting the racetrack rolled in. James, you're down there in the hot pit area. Man, I tell you what does this racetrack look like to you down there?
Well, I hope I get more action than I had at Eldora, where I only had a shock adjustment change. That was really exciting. But, yeah, all the crews down here in the, I about said Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit.
It's fine. We love Albor Muhakas.
Yeah, but how about that front row? A pair of Lucas Oil regulars there. Hudson O'Neal, 7 times a winner here at Brownstown in his career. He won here for the first time in 2016. And in Devin Moran, of course, you mentioned the Icebreaker winner here back in the month of March, which seems so long ago.
That was roughly 3 years ago, was March.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, guys, we're going to be talking to the winner of Integra Shocks and Springs heat race number 1, and we're about to fire them off over in turns 3 and 4. It's Hudson O'Neal on the pole, Devin Moran on the outside. 8 laps is the distance. Top 4 transfer. Integra Shocks and Springs heat number 1 is underway.
And Hudson with a hole shot off into 1 and 2. We'll keep an eye on the racetrack. He's got a little character through the middle of the chop, but there were briefly 3 wide for the lead. Oh, hang on. Moran gets shuffled up the racetrack. And how about McCready? He shoots the gap. He'll go to second, chasing Hudson O'Neal at the end of lap 1. It's O'Neal over McCready. Wilson in third. Here comes Moran.
Oh, man, they're getting dicey out there early in this one. Oh, no, Dev off the top of turn number 2. And the candles have been blown out on his birthday cake as he has fallen all the way back to 8th in this one, 2 laps in. It's Hudson O'Neal, Tim McCready, Dalton Wilson.
Oh, man, it was a tofu birthday cake for him as he falls back in the pack. A little bit of nose damage as well. Meanwhile, out front, Hudson O'Neal leads the way over Tim McCready. Back in third, it's Dalton Wilson. Kai Blight, the 4th and final transfer, but he's got company as Mike Marlar in the 157 starts to close in on him, working lap 4 of his 8-lap affair. Top 4 to the feature, winner to the pole.
Yeah, behind them, Devin Moran, meanwhile, is trying to work his way back through the field, but he's only got 4 laps left to do it as we're halfway home in this one. This one's still been Hudson O'Neal since the drop of the green flag. He's got 9/10 of a second over Timmy McCready. Lead Trios pulled away a little bit from the battle on your screen for the final transfer. Kai Blight has it. Mike Marlar's trying to take it.
Blight's done a good job so far. Marlar wants by. They'll race back to the 2 to go. Oh, Marlar got a little tight to the inside of Blight, tried to get around him, couldn't quite make it work. Meanwhile, 2 sticks in there, 2 more times around the Speedway for Hudson O'Neal. The best battle on the Speedway on your screen for the 4th and final transfer.
Yeah, the top 3 are kind of right there amongst themselves. Devin Moran's pedaling hard to catch this battle on your screen, which is the battle for the final transfer. Meanwhile, white flags out, final time around for Hudson O'Neal. McCready still second. Dalton Wilson remains in the 3rd spot, and Devin Moran has reeled in Mike Marlar. He'll drive under him, but the sands have run out of the hourglass. Checkered flag is out. Hudson O'Neal's going to get the win. Tim McCready second. Dalton Wilson third, and Kai Blight will race his way into the show with Moran, Marlar, Bowler, Bailey, and Burton all on the outside looking in here in Integra Shocks and Springs heat number 1.
Your 4th and final transfer, Australia's Kai Blight in the 31, Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina in the 18, second to Watertown, New York's Tim McCready, and your winner of Integra Shocks and Springs heat 1, it'll be Hudson O'Neal in car 71. That's SI Motorsport, Professional Concrete Cutting Solutions, Big River Steel, Wheeler Metals, Merrill Bonding, O'Neal Salvage and Recycling, Westside Tractor Sales, all sponsors on the Clements Powered Longhorn, and he's down with James Essex.
Well, he'll be on the pole tonight here at Brownstown. I mentioned 7 career wins here at Brownstown. His first 2 was 8 years ago. He's a former Jackson 100 winner, of course, the defending Lucas Oil champion. That's all right. Good job, Hud. Well, good start to the night. You'll be on the pole here tonight at Brownstown.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Man, I love coming back to Brownstown and getting to see all the familiar faces I've seen growing up as a kid, and just being able to run around this racetrack once or twice a year just gives me goosebumps. So happy to be back. Appreciate all my guys. Appreciate all the fans, and looking forward to the rest of the night and the rest of the weekend.
How about having your dad back tonight racing?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We've tried to be as hands-on as we can be, and help him, give him a return. But man, he's so talented, and as long as he's raced, he's an amazing racer, and he picked right back up. It doesn't look like he's missed a day, so it's exciting to be able to watch him again.
All right, guys, Heat 2 on the track.
Thank you. K1 Race Gear Heat 2. James is fired up. Double down questions as we get set for K1 Race Gear Heat 2. Jason Jameson out of Warrensburg, Indiana on the pole in car 12, and to his outside Oakwood, Illinois' Bobby Pierce in the 32.
We move back to row 2, and there we find Rogersville, Tennessee's Cade Loudy, the final entrance here this evening on his outside. Out of Heinemann, Pennsylvania, the 19-year-old, that is Drake Troutman.
Inside of row 3, it'll be Ross Robinson out of Georgetown, Delaware in the 7, and to his outside Lincoln to North Carolina's Carson Ferguson in the 93.
And we move back to row 4, Devin Gilpin in that Don Fleetwood throwback, Matt Boaknet in the 22, and Trevor Landrum in the 18. 9 cars set to run 8 laps. The top 4 will race their way in out of heat race number 2, and I thought they were going green this time by, and I thought wrong.
Well, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. I tell you what, though, Devin Moran, and I thought the damage on the nose was going to hurt him. He really found some momentum late. He's got to come out of a B main to get into the feature tonight, but in 50 laps, don't count out the 99.
Yeah, he's really good at this racetrack. You mentioned he got the Indiana Icebreaker win here earlier this year in that Roger Sellers Double Down 99, and if he does win that first B main, he will start unofficially 17th in tonight's main event. But first things first, we got to see how that shakes out, and we got to see how things shake out here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2. It's going to be racing Jason Jameson on the pole and the hottest driver in the country, Bobby Pierce, on the outside.
And it's Jason Jameson to the lead as he'll take the lead down the back straightaway. Here comes Pierce to the inside, off into 3 and 4. Jameson on the top side, Pierce through the middle, drag race back to the line. Lap 1 to Jameson, Pierce in second, third Loudy, and fourth right now will be Ross Robinson, but he's got Carson Ferguson working on him. Racetrack's really good right now.
It sure is. Jason Jameson trying to do something in this heat race that not many folks have done over the course of the last 2 months, and that is beat Bobby Pierce as they got a whale of a battle going on at the front of the field. Jameson on the outside, Pierce on the inside. Those two drivers have a little bit of a gap between themselves and Cade Loudy, who turns back the challenges of Ross Robinson in a battle for third. As James Essex would say, I need a quadruple box because we got battles all over the racetrack in this one.
Well, Jason Jameson holds the lead. I went into the Bobby Pierce trailer this afternoon to ask a question. They were watching footage from the Indiana Icebreaker to get ready for this, but he sits in second, and Ross Robinson up into third at the halfway mark. Meanwhile, Cade Loudy under fire for fourth. Here comes Carson Ferguson, still side by side for the lead. That's on the left side of your screen. On the right side, that is the battle for the fourth and final transfer as Pierce shoves a little bit through 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's about the only mistake he's made in the last 2 months as well, as that spoils a tremendous battle up front for the lead, and that battle for the final transfer. Things are getting hairy back there as Cade Loudy continues to turn back the advances of both Carson Ferguson and Drake Troutman. 2 laps to go in this one, and it's all racing Jason Jameson.
2 wins on the year, a very emotional win with the Ironman Series at Warrensburg a couple weeks ago, and he is stretching it out, DJ, with the white flag in there. 1 lap to go in K1 Race Gear Heat 2 for Jason Jameson.
Final time around for the driver of the James Ratliff Racing number 12, as he's got 9/10 of a second over the smooth operator Bobby Pierce. Loudy in the final transfer, and that's how they're going to finish. Jameson wins it, Pierce second, Ross Robinson third, and Cade Loudy will grab that fourth and final transfer ahead of Carson Ferguson, Drake Troutman, Devin Gilpin, Trevor Landrum, and Matt Boatneck.
Well, how about Rogersville, Tennessee's Cade Loudy? Last car in the pits. He goes in the fourth and final transfer. Third, Georgetown, Delaware's Ross Robinson in the 7, and Bobby Pierce in second out of Oakwood, Illinois. But your winner out of Warrensburg, Indiana, the Ratliff Racing, Grantley Farms, MGL Auto Sales, JRR Trucking, JRR Motor Sales, and Keltner Contracting, Clements Longhorn, James Essex. It's Jason Jameson headed your way.
Indiana 2 for 2 so far. Jason Jameson fourth in this year's Northern All-Star points. He ran second once to Scott Bloomquist in the Jackson 100. He has not run since that emotional win at Lawrenceburg. Jason, you just beat the #1 ranked dirt late model driver in the nation in that heat race.
Yeah, anytime you run with these guys, it's a big, hats off to the team and everybody on this team. We lost Gullet and all we can do is keep on digging. Hopefully we can bring it home for him tonight.
There you go, Jason Jameson at Ratliff number 12. He'll start inside row 2 here tonight at Brownstown, guys.
Thank you very much. Buzzy Racing Products Heat 3 up next for the outside front row. That's where the winner of this one's going to start in the 50-lapper tonight.
Look at that sky.
Man, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful night here, and it's going to be Tanner English, the Coleman Farms Racing 96 out of Benton, Kentucky on the pole. And to his outside, how about Columbus, Indiana, Zach Blackwood? He's had speed since he unloaded tonight in the 93.
I tell you what, he gets around this place really well. Row number 2 on the inside, first time here in 5 years for the high side hustler. That's Jason Fager. On his outside out of Jupiter, Florida, in the 6th, that'll be Clay Harris.
Inside of row number 3, it's Shelby Miles out of Bloomington, Indiana, in car 76, the brand new Longhorn race car. And Dade City, Florida's Brendan Smith in the 17 SS.
And your final 3 starters then, how about the real deal? Don O'Neill back in action in that McCarter Brothers Racing number 71. Corey Lawler out of Hanover, Pennsylvania to his outside. And Total Chaos Chad Stapleton will round out the field in the 1-3-2. Yellow light's been turned off. Green flag will wave next time by. This is Buzzy Racing Products Heat Race number 3. 8 laps will be the distance bend, and the top 4 race their way into tonight's 50-lap main event.
And as we said, the winner will join Hudson O'Neill on the front row for tonight's 50-lap finale. This one's going to be English and Blackwood.
What if Dawn could come up and win?
Oh, big
Oh,
fly.
my.
He says, move over, son. Green flag's out. We are underway, and it's Tanner English with the lead off into 1 and 2. Jason Fager to the inside of Blackwood. Jason Fager, good run down the back straightaway. Blackwood back to the outside. This one's going to be fun.
Yeah, you know what? Tanner English got a really good start right there, but here comes Zach Blackwood battling back to the outside. Hang on to it, Zach Blackwood. At the end of lap number 1, Tanner English will be your leader. Here comes, boy, Blackwood has got a fast hot rod here tonight.
He's got a really good race car. Now Clay Harris into the fold. He's in 4th. He wants more. Fager goes to the top side. Fager's going to tip the toe to the outside of Blackwood. Can't get there. Tanner English is missing a really good race behind him, but he likes it that way. Here comes Jason Fager.
This track just seems like it's made for Jason Fager. Quarter-mile bull ring with a little bit of a lip at the top as the night goes on. Fager right there. 3 cars under a blanket up front in this one. 3 laps in the books as well. Fager, if he can widen this racetrack out just a little bit more, he may have a shot at getting by both Blackwood and English. Here comes the 25.
Oh, wow. Big run for Fager on the top side, halfway home, and you got a battle for the lead. English has got it, but here comes the hustler.
Jason Fager in 25, trying to find a way around Tanner English in 96. This time by 3 laps goes Zach Blackwood, still right there as well. Don't count him out. Tanner English with a whopping 0.6 of a second advantage that last time by over those drivers. Shelby Miles right now in the final transfer.
Tanner changes groove, and Fager got a little tight on the cushion last time through turns 3 and 4. 6 down, 2 to go, and Tanner English's lead 0.9 of a second over Fager. Blackwood in 3rd, and Shelby Miles, brand new race car, in the 4th and final transfer.
Well, I tell you what, hat tip to Jim Price and the crew, because this racetrack is really, really good here right now. White flags out, final time around for Tanner English in this one. 1.2 seconds the advantage, as you mentioned, Ben. He got his feet under him, found a groove to his liking, and he's pulled away. Checkered flag out this time. English is going to get the win in Buzzy Race Products Heat number 3. Jason Fager 2nd, Zach Blackwood 3rd, and Shelby Miles will finish in the 4th spot ahead of Clay Harris, Don O'Neill, Brendan Smith, Chad Stapleton, and Corey Lawler.
Your 4th and final transfer will be Shelby Miles out of Bloomington, Indiana. 3rd will go to Bloomington's Zach Blackwood. 2nd, Bloomington, but from the other state, Bloomington, Illinois, Jason Fager. And your winner, Tanner English, not from Bloomington, from Benton, Kentucky. He's in the Coleman Farms Racing Special Schools of Gwinnett, SRI Racing Products, Bill Stein, VP Racing Fuels, car 96 for Tanner English. James, down to you.
Well, one of his favorite tracks, that Brett Coltman 96 for Tanner English. Both he and his dad have won here before. And Tanner English on the outside of the front row tonight. Man, one of your favorite tracks. You're going to start in the front row tonight, Tanner.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. I'm glad Fager kind of woke me up there on the top, so I was fixing to get past. So, yeah, we bumped there on the straightaway. It woke me up, and I moved up. So, thanks to him, and well, hopefully we can bring it home in the feature.
Indiana and Kentucky, your front row tonight, guys, here at Brownstown.
I tell you what, racetrack's looking good, DJ. We've got one heat to go. Ibach Springs, heat race number 4. Look at this sky. What a setting here tonight at Brownstown.
It's a wild-looking sky here tonight, and how about the drivers in the front row of this one? Out of Blairsville, Georgia, it's going to be Superman Jonathan Davenport in the 49er on his outside. Out of Chandler, Arizona, in the 20 RT, it's Ricky Thornton Jr.
Inside of row 2, out of Centerville, Pennsylvania, Max Blair in the 111, and Dennis Erb Jr. out of Carpentersville, Illinois in the 28.
Causeyville, Mississippi, Spencer Hughes will roll from the 5th starting spot. He's in the JCM Motorsports 19M, and on his outside, out of Bloomington, Indiana, in the 7R, K-Rob, that's Kent Robinson.
Row 4, Derek Groomer out of Bloomington, Indiana, in the D48. To his outside, Stormy Scott out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, in the 2S. And your final starter out of Greenwood, Indiana, Justin Shaw. He will start all by his lonesome in row 5. 8 laps the distance. Top 4 move on. Everybody else will go to a Coltman Farms Racing B main. Coming up after this, 3 of the Super Stock Heat races as we continue here on Castrol FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota Round 6. And DJ, you just feel like the track's getting better and better with each heat race.
It is. I think it has gotten a little bit better with each heat race. It got a little bit of rain here about a day and a half ago or so, and as Billy Moyer once told me, nobody preps a racetrack better than Mother Nature. Green flag's out, and we're underway in Ibach Springs heat race number 4. Final heat race of the night for Castrol FloRacing Night in America, and Jonathan Davenport gets the early hole shot in this one.
Ricky Thornton Jr. is going to peek to the inside through turns 3 and 4, coming around to complete a lap number 1. It's Jonathan Davenport over Thornton, Blair, and Dennis Erb Jr. Spencer Hughes in 5th.
Yeah, that lead quartet right there going to try to separate amongst themselves, and Dennis Erb just lost a piece of debris off the 28. It blows off the racetrack. We'll stay green flag racing. Was that the flopper on the right side of the race car? Yes, it was.
It took a vacation. It was headed to the lake a little bit early, but it's gonna need the big wind to get up the levee over there in turn 2. Meanwhile, Jonathan Davenport leads the way in this one. He's gonna be one of the Lucas Oil Championship contenders this year. And you know, Davenport can tell us he doesn't get around Brownstown very well, but he's won the Jackson, and he also won our race here in 22.
Yeah, well, Jonathan Davenport, remember as well, will also tell you after winning his heat race by 12.9 seconds, he will tell you that the car's not very good. I think it could be a little bit better, but he is out front by 1.2 seconds over Ricky Thornton Jr. in this one. Then it's Max Blair and Dennis Erb Jr. on your screen, battling for position number 3 behind them. Spencer Hughes right now in the 5th spot as he tries to turn back Kent Robinson. We double it up for you at home. That battle for 3rd on the right side of your screen.
Yeah, that's a good one right now. As Dennis Erb Jr. said, who needs the right front flopper as he goes to the inside of Max Blair. Blair up top, Erb down low, just 2 laps to go. And I think we've seen Jonathan Davenport use every inch of this racetrack. I'll be curious what he has to say to James after this one.
The car could be better.
Yeah, because he's 1 lap away from taking those Deathridge Optician glasses to a win in Ibach Springs Heat 4.
Ricky Thornton Jr. keeping pace with him right now, 1.1 seconds back, but the white flag has flown. Checker flag's going to wave this time. As, boy, that sunset is gorgeous off 3 and 4, and the 49 looks good as well. Jonathan Davenport's going to get the win in Ibach Springs Heat 4. Ricky Thornton Jr. 2nd, Max Blair 3rd, and Dennis Erb Jr. takes home that final transfer ahead of Spencer Hughes, Kent Robinson, Stormy Scott, Derek Groomer, and Justin Shaw rounding out the field in 9th.
Your 4th and final transfer, Dennis Erb Jr. out of Carpentersville, Illinois. Max Blair, the Pennsylvania driver in the 111 in 3rd. 2nd will go to Arizona native Ricky Thornton Jr. And your winner out of Blairsville, Georgia, the Nutrient Ag Solutions, Fast Shafts, Dyna-Gro Seed, Lucas Oil Products, ASC Warranty, Mark Martin Automotive Group, Clements Powered Longhorn for Jonathan Davenport, our inaugural season champion, and he's down with James.
Clements Power Plant under the hood of Lance and Darla Landers 49 car. JD, good run there. The last 2 times you've been out, you've run big half miles. This quarter mile, how much do you have to change your driving style to run Brownstown?
Oh, it's totally different. This little bull ring's pretty unique, though. It races like a big track, though, so that's the cool thing about it. But it's been a long time, about 2 years, since I've been even able to see the front from the start. So, guys, give me a great car. Thanks to them. Thanks to Nutrient Ag Solutions. Say hello to everybody watching back home. And it's always good talking to you, James.
Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. He'll start 4th here tonight at Brownstown, guys.
Oh, old friends reunited on the front straightaway. As look at this aerial shot from the drone. Will Full for getting this shot, man. Just a beautiful evening here. And it's time now. Super Stock Heat Races, 3 of them. And it's going to be Dustin George on the call. And we'll bring Dustin up and get things underway. All right, so Dustin will make his way up. And, yeah, 3 heat races. And I believe the top 6 out of each heat move on, do they not?
That is correct. 3 heat races for the Pewter Hall Super Stocks coming up. Heat race number 1 on the pole out of Seymour, Indiana. And the number 3, that is Matt Terry. To his outside will be Mitchell, Indiana's Lee Hobbs in the 0. Row number 2 on the inside out of Seymour in the Legacy Excavating Barnett Brothers Racing Holtman Farms number 8. That is Colton Sullivan. To his outside in the Stuckwish Power Washing Main Trailer Sales BP2 Construction Night Drainage and Excavating 00, that is Greg Amick. And in row number 3 was scheduled to be Danny Huff. We'll get back to that 34 DJ here in a few moments. But outside of row 3 out of Bedford in the Travis Kern Race Engines, Canes Construction, Pop Bet 12, that's Trey Chastain. Jenna Boatnick, sponsored by Napa, Kings Excavating, Stuckwish Power Washing, Beach Heating and Air out of Seymour in the 22. And Denny Boatnick make up the field here for heat race number 1. So Matt Terry in the 3 electing to go to the tail here for this heat race. So Jenna Boatnick here going to move up 2 rows and start on the inside of the second row. So Lee Hobbs, Colton Sullivan now going to lead him to green. Between the 2 white tires here on the exit of turn number 4. And good clean start down and away. They're going to race side by side into turn number 1. Lee Hobbs hanging tight on the outside, might be able to motor by down the back straightaway. He does put Lee Hobbs to the lead. Colton Sullivan going to have to settle for second. And here is Greg Amick going to try to diamond off the corner and get below the 8 of Sullivan as they complete lap number 1. Side by side for second, Lee Hobbs, leader of lap number 1. Now Greg Amick going to slide up in front of the 8. Trouble for the 3 of Matt Terry. He's supposed to be your pole sitter. He will go to the pits. But a nice crossover move on the exit of turn number 2 by Colton Sullivan. And he's going to go around on the exit of turn number 3 and connected by Jenna Boatnick. As caution flies on the exit of turn number 4. Looks like Greg Amick and Colton Sullivan with a little bit of contact there at the top side of the racetrack. And we've got a replay for those of you watching at home on Flow. You see the crossover there on the exit of turn number 2. Sullivan dives down underneath Amick. And as they roll through the corner, yep, just enough contact as the 8 slid up in front of the 00 to get him around, and then Jenna Boatnick collected in the aftermath. So your winner 2 weeks ago, Colton Sullivan, now will move to the rear of the field along with Jenna Boatnick. So that'll put the 00, Greg Amick, that is in that second spot. He chooses the outside for this Delaware double file restart with Trey Chastain now in third, and green flag is out. Hobbs is down and away. Hobbs, not a frequent flyer here at Brownstown, but certainly know he's here when he does pay us a visit. Last time he was here, the field could not touch him. One of 9 winners on the season, but Greg Amick may have a little something for the 0 as he's going to try to slide underneath the car on the exit of turn number 2. Not going to be able to complete the pass. Lee Hobbs holds on to the lead as Amick continues to work that top side of the racetrack. Top 6 to the feature. Only 6 cars left here on the racetrack for this heat race number 1, so everybody will move on to the feature. Winner of this will start on the pole, as top 2 have gapped themselves just a little bit in front of third place running Trey Chastain, with Colton Sullivan with that heavy right side damage in the 4th spot. And 3 laps to go here for Lee Hobbs and Greg Amick, and they've got about a straightaway advantage over the rest of the field, as Amick able to get to the rear bumper of the 0 through the corner, but might have slipped up just a little bit there on the backstretch. Good race now brewing for the 3rd and 4th position, as Colton Sullivan has caught the 12 of Trey Chastain as the field sees 2 laps to go here in heat race number 1. And Greg Amick may be off the pace here. Trouble for the 00 of Greg Amick, as here comes Trey Chastain now to his outside, and that 00 definitely having a problem here as the white flag is out for the 0 of Hobbs, and left flat right rear for the 00 of Amick. So he will have to go to the infield. He will make the heat race in that, or the feature, excuse me, in that 6th and final transfer spot. But heat race number 1 winner is going to be Lee Hobbs, and second coming to the line is going to be Bedford, Indiana's Trey Chastain, third to Colton Sullivan, fourth to Denny Boatnick, and fifth to Jenna Boatnick. Your 6th and final transfer car, as we mentioned, will be the 00 of Greg Amick. But Brownstown Speedway, as he exits turn number 4, let's hear it for your heat race number 1 winner. He'll start on the pole for tonight's 20-lap feature. Out of Mitchell, Indiana in the 0, it's Lee Hobbs. Your lineup here for heat race number 2. On the pole out of Bedford, Indiana, and the Davis Automotive DNA Trucking and Hauling Texicon Cutstone Signals Driving School 79. Your winner just last Saturday night in the 79. That is Zach Sasser. To his outside out of Bloomington, Indiana, in the G2. That's Ralph Groomer. Row number 2 on the inside. He's a 2-time winner here at Brownstown Speedway on the summer out of Butlerville in the Hoover Design Professional Concrete Cutting Grateful Grove 23. It's Blake Hull. To his outside from Butlerville in the 55. It's Shane Wilson. Row 3 on the inside out of Taylorsville, Indiana. In the Tyrese Trim Shop, Ziggy's Pub and Eatery, Top Shelf Motorsports 14E, that's Tim Edelman. He's joined by Westport, Indiana's Trainer Racing Engines, Fly By You Chassis, Dave Bowen Trucking 9M of Craig Markle. And rounding out the field here for heat race number 2 out of Rochdale, Indiana, the TSR Chassis number 31, that's Jordan Almanza. And Scottsburg, Indiana's Mike Fields in the 7. Remember, Mike Fields behind the wheel of Jim Ruddick's machine here this week did not get a qualifying time. So Zach Sasser, this winner a handful of nights ago, going to start on the pole here in heat race number 2. Good start for the 79 as he motors it into turns 1 and 2, slides way up the racetrack and gets the 79 back underneath of him. He's going to lead him into 3 and 4. Ralph Groomer up on the top side, holds on to that 2nd spot. 8 laps and top 6 to the feature in this heat race as well. Right through the center of the corner goes the 79. Much better corner exit that time, as he's got about a 3-car length advantage over the G2 of Ralph Groomer. 79 G2 of Groomer, 23 of Hull, 14E of Edelman, 55 of Wilson, and 9M of Markle. Your top 6 cars in the transfer position as we complete lap number 2. Sasser continues to lead now up to about a 5-6 car length advantage over the G2 of Ralph Groomer. Exits the corner here to complete lap number 3, 5 laps to go. Sasser, former track champion 2022. Pewter Hall Super Stock track champion, as the 7 of Mike Fields will exit the racetrack here and maybe try his shot at the B-main here a little later tonight. But 2022 track champion, that is Zach Sasser. 2022 Dirt Car Super Stock national champion behind the wheel of that 79. 6 wins on the season, exits turn number 4 with 3 laps to go. And battle on the screen there as Edelman going to take the 4th spot away from Shane Wilson, as Markle still holding on to that 6th and final transfer spot as they run right now with 2 laps to go this time. The odd man out on the track will be Jordan Almanza in the 31, running in that 7th position, as Edelman and Wilson continue to race hard for that 4th and 5th spot. Both cars in a transfer spot as they roll around and get the white flag this time by. Sasser with about a 3/4 straightaway advantage over Groomer. Groomer about a full straightaway advantage over Blake Hull. And there is your leader as he rolls the car through turns 3 and 4. He's going to win heat race number 2. Ralph Groomer in the 2nd spot, and that battle for 4th and 5th settled between Shane Wilson and Edelman. It is Hull in the 3rd spot, Wilson in 4th, Edelman 5th, and Craig Markle that 6th and final transfer spot. But here on the front straightaway, that is your heat race number 2 winner. He'll start on the outside of the front row from Bedford, Indiana, the Davis Automotive DNA Trucking and Hauling Texicon Cutstone Signals Driving School 79. Let's hear it for Zach Sasser. Pewter Hall Super Stock heat race number 3. On the pole was scheduled to be Tucker Chastain. We'll get to him in just a moment. He will fire from the tail. But Cale Kern out of Bedford, Indiana, and the Bedford Limestone Suppliers, Brownstown Dental Care, Fastenal of Bedford, he will move up a row and fire and lead this group to green here in a moment. To his outside out of Bedford in the Davis Automotive, DNA Trucking and Hauling, Texacon Cutstone, 5-time winner on the season. Signals Driving School number 11, that's Isaiah Sasser. Row number 2 on the inside. In the 48H in the Milliken Smiles, Joy DeVive. Ramon Trucking, 48H, that is Derek Groomer. And out of Seymour, the Napa, Bob Pointer Chrysler, Jim Hoffman, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, 49, it's Jack Roberts. And in row number 3, it'll be the 55X, sponsored by Lee & Sons Racing, Lone Wolf Graphics, that's Sam Lee. And his brother out of Freetown in the all-climate heating and air, Conyer Septic and Excavating, Team Dasco 66, that is Webb Lee. And your final row, scheduled to be the 37 of Valonia's Ray Weston, but the 34 DJ being driven by Tucker Chastain. That is Tucker Chastain behind the wheel of the 34 DJ as the 37 of Ray Weston has trouble again here getting started in this heat race. He had to have a push by Mr. Jimmy Curry to get going in hot lap time trials. Going to need another one here, looks like, to get going in this heat race. So Cale Kern and Isaiah Sasser, some Bedford natives here on the front row. Tucker Chastain also out of Bedford. And he'll fire from the tail as the field tries to split the difference there in turn number 2, avoid any potential problems. We'll see if that 37 can get under power on his own, and it does appear as though he's going to be able to do that. So this time around, Cale Kern, Isaiah Sasser will be shown 1 to green this trip around. Winner, this will start on the inside of the second row. Lee Hobbs on the pole, Zach Sasser to his outside. Cale Kern, one of his few appearances here at the Speedway this year. Isaiah Sasser currently second in the points. Tucker Chastain is your points leader with a very healthy margin, as the bad luck bug struck the 71 car in his hot lap time trial. So again, he's behind the wheel of that 34 DJ. As Cale Kern is the pace-setting car here as they exit turn number 4. They're on the gas, down and away, and into turns 1 and 2. Sasser going to clear the 71, but push way up the racetrack on the exit of turn number 2. But put a 2-car length distance between himself and Curtin as they roll through 3 and 4. Isaiah Sasser, like older brother Zach in the heat race number 2, rolling that car at TSR chassis right through the center of the corner. Getting good runoff there, now up to about a 5-6 car length advantage. As Derek Groomer settles into the 3rd spot, Jack Roberts in 4th. And the race is on now between Webb Lee and Tucker Chastain for that 6th and final transfer spot. Give it to Chastain on lap number 2. Chastain way up high, maybe a little too high there in turns 3 and 4. He's going to lose that 6th spot back to Webb Lee, but he battles back on the outside. 3 laps complete for Sasser. It's still Sasser, Kern, Groomer, and Roberts. Now Chastain going to clear Webb Lee in the 66 and move down the racetrack, settle into that 5th spot. So Webb Lee, Sam Lee, and Ray Weston on the outside looking in as Sasser sees the cross flags in the air. 4 laps scored, 4 to go. It's now about a straightaway advantage for Sasser in the 11, as he may catch the 37 of Ray Weston here before this one is done. Field goes single file. It's a pretty healthy lead there out front still for the 11 of Sasser, Cale Kern and Derek Groomer 2nd and 3rd. In the 4th and 5th spot, that is Jack Roberts and Tucker Chastain. And with 2 laps to go, Tucker Chastain may catch the rear of the 49, but he's got quite a bit of distance there, as Sasser now gonna come up on lap traffic just as he enters turns 1 and 2. Ray Weston moves to the bottom of the racetrack, gonna give Sasser the top side, but the 37 slides up a little bit, gives Sasser enough room to get on around. This is the last trip around here through 3 and 4. He's gonna win it. He'll start on the inside of the 2nd row, but good battle brewing for the 2nd spot. At the line, it's gonna be Derek Groomer around the 77 of Cale Kern. Give Derek Groomer 2nd, 3rd to Cale Kern, 4th to Jack Roberts, 5th to Tucker Chastain. And your 6th and final transfer spot will go to the 66 of Webb Lee, but as he exits the racetrack here in turn number 1, out of Bedford, Indiana, and the Davis Automotive, DNA Trucking and Hauling, Texacon Cutstone Signals Driving School number 11. Let's hear it for Isaiah Sasser. Lee Hobbs, Zach Sasser, Isaiah Sasser, heat race winners. And we'll hand it back over to Ben and Dustin for the B mains.
Well, thank you very much, Dustin, George. Good stuff there in the Super Stock heat races. We get set now for 2. Coleman Farms Racing, Castrol FloRacing, Night in America Super Late Model B mains. The top 3 out of each one move off to the main event. And everybody else, you're not eligible for provisional to start 23rd or 24th. Your night is over. Now, it's worth stating, Dustin, that the top 3 move on out of these B mains. Now, if all of our provisional eligible cars race their way in,
yes, sir,
then we would take extra cars out of the B mains. But right now, one thing we know for sure, top 3 will move on. And again, this will be Coleman Farms Racing B main number 1. And I don't think anybody thought Devin was going to be on the pole with this one, but Devin Moran, after bad luck early in his heat, he rebounded, missed the show by 1 spot out of the heat. And we'll go to our starting grid here for Coleman Farms Racing B main action. On the pole, it'll be Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio, into his outside, the 93 of Carson Ferguson out of Lincolnton, North Carolina.
I mean, this is a stacked